Willkommen zurück bei Not for Broadcast. Den ersten Teil haben wir jetzt schon hinter uns und sind jetzt offenbar von der Putzkraft befördert worden zum... Keine Ahnung, was wäre das jetzt für eine Bezeichnung? Ja, mir fällt jetzt gerade wenig so diese Berufsbezeichnung ein. Auf jeden Fall, wir spielen an den Kameraknöpfen rum, wir spielen die Werbung ein, wir zensieren Schimpfwörter und keine Ahnung was noch. Ach ja, Interferenzen müssen wir auch noch beseitigen. Naja. Da würde ich mal sagen, fangen wir doch einfach mal an. Und wie wir hier sehen, wir starten mit Tag 3. Und nein, ich habe Tag 2 nicht alleine gespielt. Es gibt wohl offenbar keinen Tag 2. Aber bevor wir starten, noch einmal kurz die Werbung. Bis gleich.
Welcome to Crazy Neil's Crazy Pre-Christmas Sofa and Chair Deals. It's a steal with Crazy Neil. We don't care if you've been naughty or nice. We got green sofas, red sofas, brown cushions, pink cushions. You've got a grey sofa. We've got a great sofa. In a grey, a brown, a pink, a yellow, a purple. Neil's deals are unreal. You've got people coming over at Christmas. You've got an aunt. She's going to leave a stain on the sofa. You don't want her sitting on this white sofa. She's going to have to sit on the dark sofa. This is a deal with Neil Appeal. You want to throw your money at us. We'll give you a leather sofa for a price that is just crazy. If you've got lightning striking, then strike whilst the lightning is hot. You've got a disused sofa. We don't care if it's smelly, stuck in front of your telly, full of welly. We'll take that shit away. Don't make a meal out of it, make a deal out of it. We got a big ass deal on a big ass chair. We've got white chairs, blue chairs, stools, inflatable chairs. This is a crazy deal with Neil Appeal. You don't want no lame ass chair. You want a great chair. We had a man come down the other day and he brought in his young daughter and he wanted her to have the best chair. We got those chairs, we got more than those chairs. We got tall chairs, chairs on wheels, wheelchairs. We got chairs for twins, chairs made out of steel, chairs that are a steal and a deal. We got those chairs. You want crazy? We got crazy. Crazy Neil's got crazy deals. You want a toilet? We can do you a toilet. We can do you a toilet next to a chair. We can do you a chair next to a toilet. Hell, we can even do you a toilet chair. So you come on down, you bring your ass, we've got it, you want it. You want it, we've got it, you want it. You pay us. You want it, we've got it, you want it. You want it, we've got it, you pay us.
Na, hat euch die Werbung so gut gefallen wie mir? Dann können wir jetzt weitermachen mit Tag 3. Ein unerwartetes Formular. Okay, damals gesehen, er hat hochgezählt. Ich habe Tag 2 nicht alleine gespielt. Als du nach Hause kommst, liegt Post auf der Türmatte. Und das meiste davon nur der übliche Müll. Aber ein Umschlag sticht dir ins Auge. Das Team möchte dich kennenlernen. Deine Neugier ist geweckt und du öffnest ihn. Und links oben sehen wir, ich bin bettelarm. Es ist ein Formular der neuen Advance-Regierung mit der Bitte um Informationen über alle Bürger. Die erste Seite wurde bereits ausgefüllt. Name Alex Winston, Partner Sam Winston, Kinder Charles Winston, 14 und Susie Winston, 19. Okay, jetzt wissen wir zumindest schon mal, wer sind wir? Offenbar sind wir auch verheiratet und haben Kinder. Tja, denkst du, das Wesen stimmt schon mal. Die restlichen Fragen musst du selber beantworten. Sie scheinen alle verpflichtend zu sein. Frage 1. Am ersten Tag in einem neuen Job würdest du freundlich auftreten und dich mit deinen neuen Kollegen bekannt machen. Produktiv sein und dich sofort in die Arbeit stürzen. Es langsam angehen lassen und dich erstmal mit deinem neuen Arbeitsplatz vertraut machen. Mit Freunden in Erinnerung über vergangene Jobs schwelgen. Ist nicht eher so eine Mischung aus Antwort 1 und 3? Sei denn, es ist jetzt irgendwie eine Arbeit, die man schon gemacht hat, aber nur eine andere Arbeitsordnung. Naja, nehmen wir mal die 1. Frage 2. Ein Kollege aus einer anderen Abteilung gesteht dir, vertrauliche Informationen mit nach Hause genommen zu haben. Jetzt fehlt eine eher unwichtige Akte. Du würdest deinem Kollegen helfen, den Regelverstoß zu vertuschen, deinen Kollegen überreden, es zu melden, deinem Kollegen versprechen, es niemandem zu verraten, den Regelverstoß sofort an deinen unmittelbaren Vorgesetzten melden. Das gefällt der Regierung doch bestimmt super, wenn ich das hier wählen würde. Also die Frage, warum stiehlt er vertrauliche Informationen aus der Firma? Eine unwichtige Akte. Keine Ahnung. Er sollte vielleicht schon dafür gerade stehen, dass er irgendwie Firmenakten mitgehen lässt. Ich würde nicht überreden sagen, ich würde ihm zumindest nahelegen, das vielleicht doch zu klären, weil irgendwie früher oder später fällt ja auf, dass die Akte weg ist. Und ach, nicht so viel überdenken, ich nehme das jetzt einfach. Frage 3. Heute wurde eine gesamte Abteilung wegen ihrer durchgehend unzureichenden Leistung gefeuert. Dein Boss hat neue Ziele festgelegt, die deutlich höher sind als die alten. Du würdest deinen Arbeitsplatz um die gleiche Zeit wie immer verlassen. Länger bleiben, um die erste Frist auf jeden Fall einzuhalten. Früher gehen, um dich im Pub mit deinen Kollegen über die Veränderungen zu unterhalten. Früher gehen, um Zeit mit deiner Familie zu verbringen. Also die Frage wird man doch wahrscheinlich in der regulären Arbeitszeit bestimmt auch schaffen. Überstunden wäre dann wirklich ja nur, ja, wenn es halt wirklich sein müsste und das nicht irgendwie so ein Dauerzustand ist. Also persönlich würde ich jetzt mal zur Antwort 1 tendieren. Das wäre halt so dieses, ja, manchmal sind es halt Überstunden, manchmal macht man halt Überstunden, manchmal muss es sein. Aber im Normalfall würde ich trotzdem meine übliche Zeit, meine übliche Feierabendzeit einhalten. Deswegen nehme ich das einfach mal. Frage 4. Du und deine Familie wurde zur alljährlichen Firmengrillparty eingeladen. Du freust dich auf einen netten Tag mit Freunden und Familie. Musst dir an diesem Tag leider dringend die Haare waschen. Gehst hin, falls es sich ergibt, wärst aber auch nicht traurig, es zu verpassen. Hast schon fleißig mit deinen Kollegen geübt, um den diesjährigen Talentwettbewerb zu gewinnen. Persönlich bin ich ja eher so die Kategorie 3, beziehungsweise Antwort 3. Nehmen wir es doch einfach. Frage 5. Hinter dir liegt eine lange, erfolgreiche Karriere. Nun sollst du vor dem Eintritt in den Ruhestand eine Abschiedsrede halten. Du listest alle deine Erfolge und schöne Erinnerungen an dein Arbeitsleben auf, lieferst eine ehrliche Ausstellung der Vor- und Nachteile des Unternehmens, konzentrierst dich auf die Probleme und Herausforderungen, mit denen du zu kämpfen hattest. Gehst gar nicht erst hin. Das wäre wahrscheinlich meine präferierte Variante, aber irgendwo, keine Ahnung, macht man es doch, aber Abschiedsrede. Reden halten ist furchtbar. Listen wir halt einfach mal Erfolge und schöne Erinnerungen ans Arbeitsleben auf. Frage 6. In deiner Freizeit siehst du es vor, allein zu entspannen, zum Beispiel beim Musikhören oder beim Modellbau, an politischen Versammlungen teilzunehmen und dich für das einzusetzen, woran du glaubst. Deine Kinder bei deren Hobbys zu unterstützen und zu fördern. Dich im örtlichen Sportverein zu engagieren. Also da wäre ich jetzt eher für die 1. Wenn man natürlich Kinder hat, ich habe keine Kinder. Also ich in echt habe keine Kinder, im Spiel habe ich offenbar welche. Ist es ja eigentlich normal, dass man auch seine Kinder bei den Hobbys unterstützt. Deswegen wählen wir mal Antwort Nummer 3. Wir unterstützen unsere Kinder. Frage 7. So würdest du deinen perfekten Urlaub verbringen. Inmitten der Schönheit der Natur, wo du dich von den Strapazen des Alltags erholst. Mit der Erkundung des Unbekannten, um neue Erfahrungen zu sammeln und Herausforderungen zu bestehen. Bei einem strukturierten Tagesausflug in den Vergnügungspark mit Spaß und Nervenkitzel für dich und deine Familie. Bei einem romantischen Wochenende zu zweit in einem tropischen Inselparadies. Ja, gute Frage. Wir wollen die Kinder nicht ausschließen bei unserem Urlaub, deswegen machen wir halt einfach einen Tagesausflug in den Vergnügungspark mit Spiel, Spaß und Nervenkitzel. Frage Nummer 8. Die wichtigste Aufgabe der Regierung ist es, den Bewohnern Folgendes zu garantieren: Sicherheit, Freiheit, Zufriedenheit oder Gleichheit. Spielt da nicht irgendwie alles mit rein? Die Bevölkerung sollte natürlich sicher sein. Sie sollte aber auch ihre Freiheit haben und nicht hier irgendwie Militärstaat oder was weiß ich was leben. Eine Diktatur ist nie gut. Außer für den, der eben die Diktatur leitet. Ist es die Aufgabe der Regierung, dass wir zufrieden sind? Das will ich jetzt nicht unbedingt sagen, aber dass alle an sich gleich behandelt werden. Da ich jetzt nur eins auswählen kann. Über die Freiheit. Vielen Dank für deine Mitarbeit. Wir von Advance wissen, wie wertvoll deine Zeit ist und bedanken uns für deine Mithilfe dabei, die Nation in eine lichte Zukunft zu führen. Bitte unterschreiben. Offenbar haben wir jetzt 3 Tage das ausgefüllt. Tag 6. Eine Familienangelegenheit. Also, dass wir jetzt hier solche Sequenzen haben, damit habe ich jetzt überhaupt nicht gerechnet. So, ich trinke mal kurz einen Schluck. Ich habe mir gerade einen sehr trockenen Mund. Es ist spät. Sam und die Kinder liegen schon im Bett. Du trocknest noch eben eine alte Lieblingstasse ab. Eine abgegriffene Erinnerung an euren ersten gemeinsamen Ausflug. Der Aufdruck darauf ist verblasst, aber die alberne Grimasse bringt dich immer noch zum Lachen. Ein Klopfen am Fenster holt dich schlagartig in die Wirklichkeit zurück. Kommt jetzt die Penner vorbei? Im Garten steht Chris, Sams Geschwisterchen. In der Hand einen knalligen neongrünen Koffer. Kaum im Haus nimmt Chris sofort am Küchentisch Platz, sichtlich gestresst. Chris holt tief Luft. Tut mir leid, dass ich so spät hier reinplatze, Alex, stammelt Chris. Aber ich brauche einen Gefallen und ich kann mich an niemanden sonst wenden. Ja, schon gut, was ist denn los oder ist alles in Ordnung? Soll ich Sam holen? Willst du vielleicht mit der Schwester reden? Nein, ist nicht nötig, Sam damit zu belästigen. Ich wollte mit dir reden. Ich brauche nur 2 Minuten. Du hast doch vom Kapital- und Vermögensgesetz gehört. Wie du weißt, bin ich im Nachrichtenbusiness, Chris. Ja, als Putzkraft ursprünglich. Nicht wirklich, das ist mir wohl entgangen. Na, ich hab's natürlich mitbekommen. Ich erinnere nur an die Rede des Betrunkenen. Chris schlägt mit der Faust auf den Tisch. Es ist total krank. Sie nehmen sich, was sie wollen und verteilen es um, wie es ihnen passt. Keine Regierung sollte diese Macht besitzen. Ich fasse es nicht, dass sie echt damit durchkommen. Totaler Wahnsinn. Und deshalb brauche ich deine Hilfe. Was genau brauchst du von mir? Oder warum habe ich das Gefühl, dass mir das nicht gefallen wird? Ja, genau das. Chris hält den Blick fest auf die Bodenfliesen geheftet. Hör zu, ich weiß, es ist viel verlangt, aber du musst mir deinen Reisepass leihen. Meinen Reisepass? Wozu? Mein Reisepass? Das geht nicht. Das ist doch illegal. Nicht nur das, aber sag mal wozu. Soll mal mit der Sprache rausrücken. Meinen haben sie mir abgenommen, so wie fast jedem zweiten im ganzen verdammten Land. Aber sagen doch immer alle, wie ähnlich wir beide uns sehen, also... Chris läuft nervös auf und ab. Ich muss weg, bevor es zu spät ist. Erst dann ist mein Geld in Sicherheit. Und ich auch. Aber es muss sofort passieren, bevor sie meine Konten einfrieren. Bitte, ich würde nicht fragen, wenn ich eine andere Wahl hätte. Okay, er ist oben im Safe. Warte kurz, ich hole ihn für dich, oder... Es muss eine andere Lösung geben. So schlimm kann es doch nicht sein. Die Frage ist jetzt natürlich, wie wird diese Regierung hier durchgreifen? Und wenn ich jetzt irgendwie ihm meinen Reisepass gebe und dann rauskommt, hey, du bist gar nicht der vom Reisepass, dann werden sie am Ende ja auch bei mir aufmarschieren, weil es steht ja mein Name auf dem Reisepass. Es gibt doch bestimmt eine andere Lösung für dein Problem. Das starrt dich mit offenem Mund an. Willst du mich verarschen? Ich habe immer zu dir und Sam gehalten. Ich habe eure Kinder behandelt, als wären es meine eigenen. Wir sind eine Familie. Bedeutet das etwa gar nichts? Die Masche also? Na schön, ich hole noch meinen Reisepass. Die Familie geht vor. Das verstößt gegen das Gesetz. Ich kann dir da nicht weiterhelfen. Das Problem ist halt, wir würden beide Ärger bekommen. Und der Ärger, der dann zu mir kommt, kann sich auch auf meine Familie ausweiten. Sprich, meine Frau und die Kinder. Ich will ihm deswegen ungern meinen Reisepass geben. Na schön, dann löse ich das Problem eben allein. Ist wohl nicht weit her mit deiner Familienloyalität, was? Das spuckt die Worte förmlich aus, greift nach dem beinahe fluoreszierenden Koffer und verschwindet in die Nacht. Auf jeden Fall ein sehr auffälliger Koffer. Du wendest dich wieder dem Abwasch zu. Das verblasste Gesicht auf Sams Tasse scheint dich mit seinem Blick zu durchbohren. Der Knoten in deinem Bauch zieht sich fester zusammen. Tag 8. Errungenschaft freigeschaltet. Screw the 1%. Ja, nieder mit dem 1%. Tag 8. Die Auswirkungen. Da sind wir wieder. Oh, der Walkman ist weg. In der Disco?
Let's get set up and get on with it, eh? So I can get back to my guests. First of all, let's get the power on. You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on.
Dann hier.
Right, let's load up the adverts. You might want to have a bit of a think about it. Your decisions have consequences, don't they?
Sollen wir spielen? Ist dieses Spielzeug sicher? Mr. Kuschelflausch. Ich bin ja jetzt schon an Mr. Kuschelflausch interessiert. Nehmen wir doch mal Advanced. Huch. Sollte gespielt werden. Vorstellung des Jugendteams der Advanced Tatmenschen. Aber das einfach mal ganz am Anfang. Jus de Cochon. Elegante neue Hautcreme mit dem schweinigen Etwas. Ach komm, das packen wir ans Ende. Mr. Kuschelflausch. Absolutes Must-Have vom Remington Swiss für ihr Kind zum Weihnachtsfest. Alan James. No, die beiden waren beim anderen schon mal da. Nehmen wir jetzt noch Alan James in die Mitte. Mr. Kuschelflausch heben wir uns noch auf.
Right, you can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again, and the vision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. These 2 buttons at the bottom of the vision mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them, and they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Provided you make a decision in that time, you're fine. And you can change your mind as much as you want until the clock reaches 0. But if you don't make any decision, you'll be fired before you even get to make another choice. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose carefully.
No,
And we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
One of those. My friend Janet says theirs gets really hot.
Is this
Das
challenge
kann ja
because
was werden.
dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon. 10 seconds, everybody.
Not the best source of consumer advice, then.
Don't blame me when it explodes. Going in 5, 4, 3.
To go over to Jeremy Donaldson for tonight's.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future might hold with a leading economist and radical free thinker. With the Assets and Wealth Act on the brink of raising living standards for the vast majority of the country, I'll be asking my guests if we're on the way to a new future. Out with the old, Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense
Das ist so ein tolles Bild als Geschäftsführerin darstellen.
at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington has always impressed. She was top of her class at university and graduated with the highest honours, immediately being asked back to lecture. The markets have responded favourably to Sophia's appointment, with stocks rising 30 points in light of the announcement. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehugs. Sophia promises it'll be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety,
Hätte ich doch das mal eingelegt.
making a splash. Intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborg-Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's taint. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, But thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flower technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful expeditions for this unlikely pairing. In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face,
Passen wir doch
the
mal
pair
fix aus.
stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together like we always have." Playing the field, rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is snapped leaving
Alles Bild.
one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. Johnny is seen here with socialite and performance artiste Tiffany Lamour, whose recent show, Snatched Inside My Snatch, has kept her firmly in the public eye. Could romance be on the cards for these two budding A-listers? And Griever's bodily charm. With Advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more powers passing to the police and less oversight, are we using an Advance-shaped sledgehammer to crack a nut? All that and Mega Morph with a group of young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Was ist denn nun schon wieder? Bei komischen Satellitenschüssel da. Schön.
In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is Right, Jeremy. We're to become the great
Tolles
herd,
Buch.
ignorant, sterile and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is...
Shamelessly self-promoting? Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most
Auf jeden Fall sein
destructive threat that the world
Buch
powers have
promoten.
faced
Schon
since
wird's
the
ihm
last Great
abgeholt.
War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't
And
what
this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, we'll be laughing then.
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are
flucht
the
er
same
einfach.
people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Frankenstein.
Ein blödes Buch schon wieder.
Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals. They're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP
Mit diese Querdenker.
on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
No, of course. Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order
Es
before
wird Zeit für
making some
Werbung.
beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them then?
Shut the fuck up, Alan. I've never heard so much shit in my life.
Well, we'll see who's full of shit, won't we?
Alan, I can explain it to you, but unfortunately I can't understand it for you.
Well, I don't know what she meant by that.
Sehr schön.
Absolutely fucking fine, I tell you. How's it going, actually?
Macht Party.
I don't care, I hate the fucking news. Oh, bloody hell, I love this tune, though. All right, mate, see you later, bye!
Saying I'll do what I can, that's all.
Bullshit, you will. She's good. You know she is.
I've said a bit of wording, that's all I can do.
10 seconds, everybody. His little JD scared of the big bird caught you with water.
If that sticks, I'll destroy you.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In our second
Ja,
segment,
nu.
we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desks.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Well, we can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem. We need more support from ministers. What are you doing? We need change at a
Lässt
structural
einfach
level.
jemand rein.
Greg.
Not a good time, darling.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
Just hang on. No, the problem isn't a local
Die-
one,
die
Jeremy. It's nationwide.
Differenzen
Just give me 5 minutes.
regeln.
Jeremy Donaldson.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No. Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry
servants.
to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving him?
Yes, I totally understand. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining
Ich
us.
würde jetzt gerne zuhören.
Next, I'm joined by Police Chief Constable Bob Peel, a man with a very different perspective on our nation's crime. Do you think there's a problem with the system, Bob?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy. I'm sure we all long for
Yeah.
a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by some thug with a knife or kosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly. It's all in the Bible.
Okay.
Look, Leviticus clearly states that... Oh, bugger, hang on a moment. Jeremy, your bloody gimps escaped. Delia? Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
And just to be clear, you think it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
Oh, sorry, darling. I was staying the badgers.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive, could you put him back in the box?
Oh, Clive, you know it's Wednesday. You go back.
Was ist denn das hier für eine Sendung?
Whose responsibility is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people of
Darling,
this...
where's the padlock?
Oh, hold on just a moment.
Oh, Clive, this simply won't do. Naughty, naughty, naughty boy. Mummy said...
Clive, I am not having this again.
Mummy said, get back in your gaspers. No! Naughty! You beast, Clive!
Was haben die hier für Leute eingeladen?
Crime is the responsibility of the criminal, no one else. Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A-, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of her pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there, really locking down the police's position on morality for us. And finally, tonight, hopefully uninterrupted, it's time to get to the heart of the matter. Tony Dawson has recently been released from prison after serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary, and menacing a SWAT. He's agreed to talk to us today, which is also, I believe, his birthday. Many happy returns, Tony.
Cheers, Jez. Call me Titwank Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalization, as you can imagine. And obviously, titwanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Titwank Tony. Yeah, sorry, it's a friendly surprise party. Goodbye to lads.
Okay, well, we're trying to let you get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank Tony! I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez.
Sopen!
Yeah, I think asking that is an oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. Big Chris, Little Chris, and Vampire Chris.
Och, komm schon.
This one's, yeah?
Yep.
One sec, love. Titwank Tony's on the news. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jez. Just not set up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
Sopen!
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this guy?
You are joking. Chrissy Free Bollocks has only got Mr. Fancy, oh.
Nüt, nüt.
Not now, fellas, I'm on the news.
Könnt ihr mal aufhören, so viel zu fluchen?
It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
The little boy?
Oh, I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here. Jesus.
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal here, Tony.
Fucking way, let's believe that!
Well, we're just trying to get that signal back. I think we... Yes, Tony? Tony, I mean, you were literally away for 2 seconds. How does this happen, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought, though.
Ach, ist das bescheuert?
The viewer at home have managed to glean a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around law and order.
Wir werden wieder gleich für Werbung.
Megan will be live with some plucky young thespians. Don't go away. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back, everybody.
Junge, Junge. Stimmt, Mr. Kuschelweich. Nagelhacks.
Next section, there's a bit of music. If you edit
Oh. Oh, was ist denn nun los? Nein, das Spiel ist gecrashed. Nein. Wieso ist das Spiel jetzt gecrashed? Schweinerei. Mal schauen, ob ich das irgendwie hinten dran geschnitten bekomme. Dann sage ich einfach mal bis gleich.
Why bother strengthening your body when you can strengthen your face? We believe your skin deserves the best, so the new formula actively removes harsh chemicals from your skin. The high salt content actually pulls the dihydrogen monoxide right from your pores to give you the crisp, brittle skin you've come to expect. New Jus de Cochon will revitalize the appearance of the strength of your face's skin. 41% of women we surveyed said they loved their visible flakes, and 7 out of 10 dentists would recommend it. Jus de Cochon. because we said so.
So, da bin ich wieder. Hoffentlich ohne Crash.
In this next section, there's a bit of music. If you edit in time with the music, you can see the result on the vision mixer, and the public will love that. Don't worry if you don't, though. You won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove. Also, one last tip. When the music starts, turn down the broadcast volume. Right, enjoy the music bit. God, I love music. God, I'm so pissed.
Okay.
Well, where is he? In his dressing room, probably banging his head against the wall. Looks right, I've got this. I'm sure he's on his way.
Das ist so ein Furby.
How hard can it be?
This is on you. 10 seconds, everybody.
Jetzt irgendwie auf die Musik das
Number
schneiden.
2. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Mr. Snugglehawks!
Welcome's Black, I'm Megan Wolfe, and on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest.
And I believe you two are sisters, is that right?
Yes, Charlotte's my oldest. I'm the older, more popular one. Only joking.
Yeah.
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
So, Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, let's actually do something.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to
Das ist so schön
Fortunately, I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were.
Right, yes, but you're the maths teacher, aren't you?
Yes, that's me, Jeff Algebra, maths teacher.
Maths is really important.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
As is theatre. It's one of the oldest art forms in history, Aristotle.
I just
Das ist
think that when we travel around all these problem schools and the poor kids see us, they say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing. We touch our audiences and they touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname like Algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me. My wife, Angela, and I, we often laugh about it.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
We just want to bring a bit of song and joy into people's lives.
And teach people about the difficult issues. The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play, aren't you?
That's right. To put into context, I play a young first year who's having some troubles at school.
Her character doesn't actually have a name, yeah, because in a way she's like all of us.
It's like a metaphor. Maybe she's you at home, or like, maybe she's you, Megan.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Put it in, coach.
Yes, thanks, Steve.
Right, well, I'm going to have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it.
Gott, was kommt jetzt? Oh, das ist die falsche Kamera.
Jeff, when did you first hear about the grant?
2 days ago. A letter from Advance arrived at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
Wow, how did you react?
I also threw it in the bin. But then Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny because Angela and I don't usually vote. We're not very political. I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic mainly. But we did used to watch that Peter Clements DIY show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go at this old democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we ballywell are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant!
So, let's have a look at a short section of Hey, Friendship.
Lass euch jetzt irgendwie zu der Musik irgendwie hin und her springen.
Dear Diary, I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears. Tears. Another day of fears. But still I walk the corridors alone. Alone. Dreading what might be around every corner.
What's around the corner? What's around the corner? What's around the corner?
Oh, hi Gary. Oh, heavens, no! It's Gary the Fist! Gary the Fist!
Going somewhere, little first year?
Great. I've been looking for some poor victim to bully all morning. But will this make me feel better about my violent father? Violent father.
Excuse me, I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject. And so important.
So wichtig.
Maths is for losers.
What?
Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck, coach.
Keep going, for fuck's sake.
Right, maths is for losers.
So spät
Now,
geliebt.
give me your lunch money.
Double lunch for me today, but why I'm only truly happy when I'm eating?
Not today, Gary the Fist.
What do you mean not today? Who are you? What do you mean not today? My arm's free, coach.
Brilliant, keep going.
Right, who are you to stand up to me? I'm Gary the Fist. And you're just a sad little girl with two gay dads who's all alone.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. These are my two new friends. Vanessa is captain of the netball team. Yeah. And Blake owns a motorbike.
Yeah.
But I can't fight all three of you, and I don't have any friends of my own.
Was kommt jetzt? Was heißt dieses Mal 1?
Take a look at me. Take a little look at my face. I could be you. She could be you. And you could be me.
Or you could be me.
Life can be peachy keen if you work as a team.
It's my choice to be mean. So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
So einfach.
Mr. Nut, I won't take no crap. Who said middle class girls can't rap? I ain't afraid of your cruel lads. I'm a mother-loving rebel, but I still love maths.
Auch perfekt rübergeschaltet. Keine Ahnung.
Hey, kids, I'm Gary the Fist. People think that folks like me probably shouldn't exist. But that's just prejudice, and I'd do better if you knew the way that I became Gary the Fist. I grew up on a council estate. The park was hip, but the flats weren't great. My dad used to come home drunk and late, and he'd hit my mum for dinner, he had to wait. Where's my dinner?
It's not ready.
Where's my dinner, woman? Don't make me ask you again.
Hitting women is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. 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 It's so damn hard on a council estate.
Life can be peachy keen.
Yeah.
If you work as a team.
Just work as a team.
It's your choice to be me.
It's my choice.
So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Friendship!
Yes!
Yay!
Well, thankfully that's all we have time for tonight on the National Nightly News. Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
Oh, that was brilliant.
What's the literal
Hast den
fact
Werbeeinsatz
of that?
verpasst?
I believe that was art.
I believe I've got a 14-inch cock, but it doesn't make it so.
I have a similar belief about an adequate paycheck.
Oh, someone please
Yay.
get these plants out of my studio.
Hydrogen monoxide right from your pores to give you the crisp, brittle skin.
Da haben wir die Musik gefühlt.
41% of women we surveyed said they loved their visible flakes, and 7 out of 10 dentists would recommend it. Jus de cochon, because we said so.
Tolle Werbung. Das sieht doch gar nicht mal so schlecht aus. Da lief das Tutorial bescheidener. Ein A+. Das ging aber steil bergauf. Alle Kraftausdrücke wurden zensiert. Ohne Störsignale und ein extrem schwacher Schnitt. Ja, mein Gott, man kann nicht alles haben. Was trotzdem ein A+. Offenbar alles richtig gemacht. Oh, ein großzügiger Bonus. Den nehme ich doch gern. Bin mal gespannt, was das hier für Auswirkungen hat. Wer hier, keine Ahnung, Kurs steigt bzw. fällt. Da ist noch alles unverändert. Naja. Ich würde mal sagen, wir sehen uns dann bei Folge Nummer 3. Hoffentlich dann ohne Absturz. Und ich war gerade irgendwie gar nicht drauf gefasst, was zu sagen, da ich ja die meiste Zeit doch recht still bin. Da ich ja doch gerne auch das Gesagte hören mag. Und dann nicht gerade irgendwie drüber quatschen will. Naja. Jetzt hier auch sehr laut in meinen Ohren. Auf jeden Fall, wir sehen uns bei der nächsten Folge. Bis denn. Tschüss.
I'm Alan James. This is not a movie. This is not some child's tale. This is not a dream. This is reality. This is the story of you and how you're stupid and asleep. It's about how you were promised the Elysian fields, but you ended up filleting Satan for the salty crumbs. It's happening here. It's happening now. And it's all happening right in front of you. I'm Alan James.
Alan James is one of the country's most controversial columnists and speakers.
And they're going to take your poor sweet grandma, and you're never going to see those dribbling dentures again. Oh, grandma, look at their faces. That's not what cows look like. You call it the stock market. I call it the stuck market, because it's just another pole they've stuck up our collective... I don't care if he was once your nephew, Cameron. He's standing in the way of the truth!
Now, Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, is coming to your city.
I'm Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, the gospel according to Alan James, and the Alan James shall set you free. And now I'm bringing my message directly to you. With my new nationwide tour, Alan James is Right, in front of you.
Alan James.
I'm Alan James.
Alan James.
Alan James is right.
Alan James.
I'm Alan James.
Coming to a city near you. Check local press for dates and times.